Live. So no video intro. Just going live right now. Kind of impromptu with my twin brother in Abu Dhabi. I live in Utah. I live near Salt Lake City, Utah, and we're trying to cope with. You know, we're trying to deal with the news that we've had just recently. The news about our grandnephew who's just passed away, and um, I mean, it's uh, it's it's definitely something that just off camera, just a moment ago, we were just talking about, right, Jeff? It's
Right.
surreal, and
Yeah, totally. And I'm still kind of numb from it, really. Every time I kind of dwell on it, I get emotional, and I become a wreck. It's one of those things where you can't help but uh, when I heard about it, like eh, well over 24 hours ago, just news of somebody missing, our nephew missing. And then last night, I wake up at 2 a.m. or something like that, was close to. You had sent me a news update on his situation. So it went from him missing to his deceased body being discovered by divers going into the reservoir and finding him. Uh,
right,
it's so sad. It's heartbreaking. It's devastating. And as a parent, we're both parents. You can't help but think about, what if this happened to me? What if this happened to my child? And
right,
wow, and that's where I just lose it once those thoughts start creeping into my mind, because I I, I, I dearly love Hannah, and we've also relationship with her, and a lot of kids, if you
hmm
remember, from all growing up, they
absolutely,
would,
yeah,
and Hannah especially, it seemed like, and but Connor, to be honest with you, I really didn't know Connor very well, because I've been gone for the last 10 years. I haven't lived in Utah, right? So
hmm
I really only met him or spoke to him when I came to Utah in the summertime, at family reunions or get-togethers. And so this is something that's really tugging at my heartstrings, because of Hannah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, Hannah is such a sweet person, and she's somebody that has always been real and authentic, and you always know where you stand. And I mean, it was for me, on the other side, Jeff. It was just Saturday that I saw Hannah and her family at
We're
our family
at the
reunion,
family reunion.
right? And so I went
Uh-huh.
from having, went from elation, so to speak, of I performed a couple of skits to kind of make people laugh. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen it, I've uploaded a couple. I have uploaded one video of my Forgetful Chef skit. Anybody can watch that. I've uploaded it, but I did that at my family reunion to make laughs, and Hannah came up to me and gave me a hug. She always does that. She
Right.
always comes up to me and gives me a hug, and she always makes it a point to speak to me. And you know, uh, and then to get the news, where I read in our family Facebook group that Judy had put, "Please stop what you're doing, please, and start praying. My grandson is missing." I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And in the beginning,
When
it's
I
okay. I'm trying to stay calm because sometimes when this happens, you know,
People can overreact and panic.
Yeah, and maybe he stepped away, or you don't know really what's happening exactly, and so you try to stay as optimistic as possible without panicking. But obviously, in that very moment, I wanted to pray and and do as exactly what our older sister wanted, and so I prayed
Right.
multiple times on Connor's behalf, and to get the news um, that his body was found, but not in a good way, that he wasn't alive, was one of the most disheartening pieces of news that we've
Right.
gotten. I mean, we've
You know, the
gone
only
through
other,
as a
the only,
family when our
do you
nephew
remember?
Johnston passed away, and it's always it's it's extremely sad news when you hear that a son or a daughter from one of your family members has to, you should be able to outlive your son or daughter.
Your, yeah, your children, right? So that's something to have to endure or experience,
Right.
as a parent.
As a parent, that's it must be grueling, and I can only imagine the
I'm
feelings
not,
that she must be
I'm
having.
not, right. I'm not sure that sort of void can ever be filled. I'm not sure she will ever truly 100% overcome it. Make it easier with time. Uh, maybe our sister can give her some comfort and some help.
Yeah,
I
in
hope.
July as well.
Right. Yeah, in July as well, with her baby age had died a number of
Hmm.
years ago. There was a time when we were growing up, Jared, when our cousin Laren uh,
Yes.
was killed in an accident, a deer hunting accident, and he was only 12 or 14 years old at the time, right? Do I remember that correctly?
I think he was a little bit older than that, because I think he was about the same
I thought I was
age.
I remember him being like 14 years old.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
very, very tragic accident, and that at the time was one of the most saddest funerals we've ever gone to. And obviously, being in and around his same age group, I think he was either a year younger or our same age. It definitely, hit home with us.
Right. So if you're watching this live and you've ever had a family member where this happened, you ever had a family member die, an accident happened to a family member, if this is something you can relate to, or somebody whose family member this happened to, something similar, drop a comment, let's maybe that can help in some way. Maybe we can convey some messages to our dear niece, who's going to need any sort of inspiration and strength to draw from.
Amen to that, brother. As the more support, the better. Prayers obviously are very, very encouraged. However, if you can indeed relate, or if you can show empathy about what's happening, and maybe you've never experienced it, and you don't have a family member who's experienced it, but you can show empathy because you can imagine how she may be feeling, then please find it in your heart, if you can, to help out with sending a donation. And I'm putting in the Venmo information. Not only is it going across the ticker here, across the screen at the bottom here, but I've just put it in the comment section. If you'd like to donate, then the Venmo right here for the family, you can send a donation to the family, so that may help not only with funeral cost, But just in general, with it's. I mean,
It could offset. It could offset anything. I mean, who knows what they would be using it for? But I'm sure
food. I mean, yeah, anything,
yeah,
because
anything would help.
when I mean, you're almost, as I can imagine, almost numb at this point, and you don't feel like cooking, you don't feel like cleaning. I mean, I can only imagine. And if you can, it's also a sign of love. It can encourage. It's a sign of encouragement. So it can do a lot of different
Right.
things. Again, prayers are encouraged. Prayers
Well,
are,
prayer
are
prayer is a
wonderful.
powerful tool.
It is. So prayer is very encouraged, but if you can also show your support and love in a different way as well, and if you feel prompted to donate to help with the funeral and other things, then please move forward and do that as well. So I mean, I'm struggling with what to say here.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's
yeah, I know.
difficult,
It's
but I do want to
so
express my love to Hannah, to Judy, and to all of our family in regards to what has happened. It's very, very disheartening. And I know that our nieces, Naomi, Esther, and all of Hannah's siblings have, expressed how they feel on social media already. There's Magic. Thanks for commenting, Magic. And thanks for your prayers, Magic. So, and also, um, if you feel prompted and you'd like to drop a comment, drop a word of encouragement, support, or if you either have gone through this or you know somebody who's gone through this, drop a comment as well. And that way, if even if it's just a comment of encouragement to the family of Connor Bowden,
right. So
drop a comment.
yeah, I mean, Hannah has five. That's including Connor, right there, and so it's very tight knit, close family, and as I mentioned at the very beginning, I didn't know Connor because I've been living out of the state of Utah for the last 10 years. But what I do know is Connor was a very caring and very loving uh, boy, a very, unselfish, selfless, always took very good care of his other brothers and sisters. Uh, right.
Yeah,
Okay. So, yeah, there's
we've got some
Rebecca,
comments coming
our
in right
nieces.
now. Yeah, thanks, Becca. Sarah is also commenting here, and Darren K. Thanks, Darren. Uh, Connor had always seemed like a very tender-hearted, sweet kid, and I'm not saying that God should only allow those that are rambunctious and troublesome kids pass away at an early age. Who knows what the criteria is? I don't know, but it just seems it just seems
Unfair.
very
Yeah.
unfair.
Just right. I mean, those are the thoughts that came to my mind. It's like, oh my goodness, the boy is only 14 years old. God has a reason, a season, and a time for everything. But uh, our mortal, uh, weak minds are not going to understand at this juncture, what his reason and his rhyme or reason behind this are. But the fact of the matter is for some reason God saw it fit to take Connor back up to heaven, and that there. I wish maybe later on, hopefully some of the questions, the variables will be explained. I mean, I'm not sure why he was alone for a certain period of time. I'm not sure why he was not wearing a life jacket at the time, and it's truly heartbreaking, and sad. I unfortunately cannot just break away, right now, but I'm making plans in the next 2 weeks to come to Utah. I'm sure by then the funeral will have taken place, but I will definitely give all the support I possibly can at that time when I come to Hannah, to her family, to our sister Judy, and the whole family at the juncture.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, brother. And they, as a family, that's what we need to do. Is we need to do whatever we can to show our love and our support, our encouragement, um,
Right.
for everyone involved. It's it's heartbreaking, and it's something it's hard to fathom. As, as a as a parent, Bronco right now is 12 years old, and it would literally just ruin me, if I could try to imagine it. And so
I can't, and I'm not sure I could overcome that sort of ordeal, experience, obstacle. I'm not sure I could. You know,
well,
it would it
alone
would
we
wreck
can't.
me.
Alone we can't, and I think that's why we all need to step up. And again, I want to emphasize that prayers are important, but we need to do more than pray. Jeff, and you and I, Jeff, talked about this so many times when we've advocated for kidney disease patients, is that um, you know prayers are very important, and we need to pray for those whom we love. However, praying isn't enough, especially when something like this has happened. Is that we've got to put forth action. We've got to do something instead of just pray. I think oftentimes, I get it that sometimes you don't know what to say. I've been left
Right.
speechless today during this interview or during this broadcast because it's hard to know what to say. I get it. You don't know necessarily how,
And if
what,
and if you don't
it,
and if you don't know what to say, how are you going to know what to do? But I don't like to take away the legitimacy of prayer. It is a powerful tool, like you just said. But again, it's easy just to say prayers up for you, prayers for you, when you're typing out the message. But to then step away after you've typed that message, please back it up with action, uh, because the prayer itself in action is really one of the most powerful tools. But the other actions that can be followed up, in addition to, are donating to the information down below,
yes,
reaching out to some of the family members by message, or if you know them, and
right.
making sure you tell them that you're there to support, that you love them, and you'll do everything you possibly can. What's up, Mindy? Thanks for joining in on this live broadcast. It is
Yeah,
exactly just that, very devastating, heartbreaking, and as a mom, yes, parent, you can't help but think, what if it were your own child, and and there's our sister, and this is her grandchild, for crying out loud, and so it it me up when I think about it. I'm sorry, I I get emotional, man. I can't. I don't know if I can continue with this.
So, Judy, our love Our love goes out to you, your family, to Mindy, Sarah, Becca, Naomi, Esther, Josh, Jason, Laura, everyone.
Let's underscore something here that Mindy said, and I didn't get to it, Jared. Thanks again, Mindy, very, very much for dropping this very good comment. I'm at loss for words, really,
It's
to
a
say
great
it here.
comment. I want to read this out loud.
Yeah, read the whole thing.
Yeah, Mindy writes right here, thank you for doing this. This is nothing but devastating and heartbreaking. My mommy heart cannot even try to comprehend this. But if there is one thing I've seen the last couple of days is a family coming together unconditionally in unity. And that's
the one
powerful.
thing, it is a powerful thing, coming together as one in unity, as she says. So yeah, if you don't know what to say, you can still reach out to Hannah, her children, Judy, our sister,
send $5
to
to
family
the
members
Venmo.
at this. Right. Reach out to them. Donate if you can, however much you can.
$1.
You know, the thing that really just rips my heart to shreds, Jared. This is not anything that you would wish upon anyone, okay? But
no, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Hannah has had the worst of years possible. I mean, a year ago this month, she had a horrific car accident where she was lucky to survive, and the result of that, she lost her job, and then she had surgery, I believe, on her arm, and then later on her back and spine. Right. So this was like the anniversary, as if correct me if I'm wrong, family members. This month, June, was the 1 year anniversary of that car accident that she was in, and then so this happens, right? Hi, Bobby. Thanks for tuning in from Oregon. So this is not a live broadcast that we like to do, that we look forward to doing. Both of us were not sure what to say when we went live. We're stumped. We've gone speechless many times, and that's hard to do for me and Jared. You know, to be rendered speechless and coy or shy. But this is something that we wanted to do. We prompted to do. All right, there you go. So Becca confirmed, yeah, it was the anniversary this month of her accident. So if you're going through rough times, right, just remember that there are people who have had or have had a lot worse times. I mean, Hannah, the worst year possible. That the horrific accident that car accident she survived.
Yeah.
And her son's accident that resulted in his death, unfortunately.
Yeah, to learn that. I mean, to learn that Connor has passed away is devastating. It's disheartening, and I'm I'm distraught for her. My heart is broken for her, and I want to go back to what our niece has stated, though, is that we just need to try to, as much as possible, if we're feeling this and we're not the parent and Hannah is, only try to imagine how Hannah must feel and what she must be going through, and how important, paramount it is to try to come together and be unified as a family, and to try to encourage our family because of this horrific event that's happened.
That's very well said.
Anyway, I'm not full of energy like I normally am, and I apologize for that, but this is very sobering. And I do want to emphasize that to my family that I love you. And I hope that anybody watching this again who does want to donate will not only read the Venmo that's going across the screen right now down at the bottom, but will read the comment that I put in here earlier. Let me see if I can find it. In the comment section, I also copied and pasted the Venmo. And it's a small gesture, whatever it might be, whether it's $1, $2, $3, whatever you think you could afford would help in regards to helping the family move forward for not only the funeral but other things. So please, if you have it in your heart and if you feel prompted to do so, please jot this down, copy and paste it, whatever, screenshot it, and act on inspiration.
The really sad thing about America is funerals are super expensive. And it's something that people rarely plan for, a funeral and the costs for a funeral, you know. But whether it's a casket, the services, the mortuary, all those costs come up, usually come to $8,000 to $10,000 nowadays. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's
sometimes
a rough estimate,
more, right?
Yeah, it's just a rough estimate, and people just do not really plan for these sort of things. I mean, especially with a boy at this age, you're not going to plan for something at this age. So this has come heinously unexpectedly, of course, and those sort of expenditures and finances were not expected, and so if there's anything that you can possibly afford to donate at this point, and you feel prompted, or you feel like that you can afford and you're able to, please use the information to do so.
Oh, we've got a message from our niece Laura here, Hannah's sister.
Let's bring that up, highlight it.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Love my family, exclamation mark. Love my nephew so much. He will be forever missed and never forgotten. Love my sister so very much. My heart aches so much for her and her children and all nieces, nephews, etc.
Wow. I mean,
my heart aches as well. And
yeah. So, thanks for tuning, folks. I'm gonna get some sleep. I got to get up early to take my daughter, Jayla, to the airport. Stay in contact with your loved ones. Life is sometimes too short. Always take the opportunity to express your love to your children, to your brothers, your sisters, your parents, to all those people that you're close to, whether it be family members and friends. Always take the opportunity to express your love for them, and don't harbor negative feelings. You just know when that loved one is just not ever going to be there, until you see them in the thereafter. So, for those who have, especially our family members, thank you so much for tuning in. And as Jared has expressed, I want to also take the opportunity to express my love for all my family members, and especially at this time, to Hannah, her family, and Judy. And please make sure that you actually kneel down and put the prayer in action. You know, when you type it out on social media, it looks nice and it makes people feel happy, right? But when you actually put words into action and pray, well, that's a powerful tool right there.
Amen to that. Amen to that. All right, brother.
All right, thanks for inviting me to do this, Jared. It was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. God bless.
All right, peace.